The free energy myth. Everybody on the internet is talking about how to make free electrical energy. And they show you devices that are either misrepresented or have some sort of trick behind them. I'm not going to trick you here. I'm going to show you free energy. And I'm going to explain why it's not free energy. This is a DC permanent magnet motor. DC standing for direct current. And a permanent magnet, what that means is there's always a magnetic field constantly present inside this motor. Inside the motor is an armature that spins. You can spin it in either direction. The way a motor works is when you apply electrical energy to the armature tries to pull that section of armature to the magnet, to align itself with the magnetic field. And then the stator moves to the next position and the motor continues to run. And when you provide electrical current in the opposite direction, the motor will spin in the opposite direction. What I have here is set up as a generator. See, I have the motor shaft connected to a large gear, which when the large gear turns a little bit, the motor turns a lot. It's also in turn connected to another small gear which is against a large gear. So when I turn this large gear, I get a lot of rotation on the motor. What that's doing is it's generating electricity because that armature is moving with inside that magnetic field. Now, here's why free energy is not free. I have to do some work. So you see, by pulling this wheel, I'm generating direct current. You can see one LED is lighting up because the current is flowing in one direction. If I were to spin the motor in the opposite direction, you see that the other LED is lighting up. Still, in order to get either of these lights to light up, I have to do work. I have to use my physical energy and use the motor and the gears to create or to convert mechanical energy into electrical energy. So you can see I can sit here all day long and generate electricity as long as I don't get tired. Now I'm not generating much electricity, but the point is, it's not free. If I were to hook this to a wind generator, and as the wind blew the propellers, it would create free electricity. Well, it's not free because that generator has to pull energy from the wind, and the wind is created by the sun. So in a sense, solar energy is free, but it is still energy that is coming from somewhere else. There's no such thing as a device that you can hook a motor to a generator and hook the output of the generator to the motor, and spin the motor and have the motor spin the generator, have the generator power the motor. That just will not work. And that doesn't work because of imperfections in the electrical wiring, the resistance of the conductors, wind resistance, and the bearing resistance of these gears. So there's no such thing as free electricity. When you hook a motor to a generator back to the motor, you don't get as much electricity as you put in because some of that energy is being converted to heat in the form of friction. As I said, friction in the bearings and friction in the wiring imperfections. You're going to convert some of that energy to heat. You will never get out as much as you put in. Actually, you do get out as much as you put in. Some of what you put in is wasted as heat, so it's not of any use. So you're not going to find on the internet a free energy device that actually works because physics says it cannot work. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only be converted from one form to the other. So from my thumb to the mechanical energy, to the rotational energy within the magnetic field, to the electrical energy through the two LEDs. One going one way and one going the other. Now if you're curious, why doesn't he have a resistor on there? It's because this motor does not produce enough current to burn out these LEDs. If I were going to use a battery, I'd have to use a resistor because I have to limit the amount of current. And I'd have to use the correct resistor depending on how bright I want the LED and what voltage I'm using. So, long story short, you cannot get free electricity, but you can make electricity by converting it from a mechanical form into an electrical form. And a DC motor is just that. It's going to produce electrical current in one direction or the other. Thanks for watching.